Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
Yo.
What's good, man?
I swear, if y'all knew what we just went through to go live, this joint is crazy. Nah, but just off the record, I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B. You would think every week is our first week doing this. I mean, no matter, like, if you get here on time, have everything set up, prepped, something will go wrong. Or something at the last minute just quite in the right, whether or not it's the camera, whether or not it's the microphones, whether or not it's the computer. So I want to tell you, right, if you're out there and you know anybody is looking for an internship or trying to pick up a part-time job or something, no, we
get them credits.
We need because
the crazy thing is I need to like switch the Wi-Fi, but I'm leaving it alone. We'll do that next week. It was good though, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, ain't New Year yet.
Definitely happy holidays. How was your holiday?
It was good. It was intriguing. I honestly just wanted to be left alone. My fault. I want to post some of these things because we're gonna talk about all of this stuff, man. And but yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was some good games. I enjoyed myself. You know, I didn't do too much. I tried not to spend money that I didn't have because you know we kind of get caught up in spending money we don't got during these times. But it was cool. How was yours?
Mine was good. Until, you know, I woke up, everything went well, you know, kids got what they wanted. I even got some gifts that I even liked this year.
Right.
And things were going well until the last football game. Yeah.
Do I see somebody post a dolphin? I will.
Yeah.
Cool. It's cool.
Yeah. It went left. My Christmas went left.
So expound.
You know, when your team lose, it can just mess up your whole mood. Yeah. And that carried over into the next day to where I just woke up, looked outside, it was raining. I said, crap. I said, it's just a bad omen. So man, the Baltimore Ravens smacked us in our mouth.
Yeah.
They smacked us in our mouth. I couldn't even. It was one of them butt whippings that you couldn't even really be mad at. You just like, you know what? Hopefully they make the adjustments and we just move on. So
I mean, because there's a lot we got to talk about that game. I know. I mean, I would say that was the marquee matchup of the weekend.
Absolutely.
I think the Cowboys-Dolphins game was like the undercard, you know, compared to everything else. And then everybody else was what it was. You know, did the Saints win this week? Nobody cares about the Saints. So
no, you know what? They lost. They lost.
Yeah, because they screwed me up.
It was on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. We'll get into that, but yeah, I picked the Saints.
So let's talk about your game, right? You clearly you felt like y'all was going in there, y'all was going to handle business, because the way that y'all was talking, I mean, y'all pretty much any of the big games, y'all had something to say. You know, Debo Samuel had something to say. George Kittle had something to say. But they was popping off like, you know, like they was going like dog walk the Ravens. How do you feel? How do you feel your guys performed overall? I almost feel like I'm interviewing you, but yeah, how do you feel like your guys did overall?
So it's not really. Oh, all right, and this is from my perspective. I think the guys weren't physical enough.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a lot of this on Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
I didn't like our game plan. And maybe Kyle Shanahan decided, hey, you know, we're not going to try to play their game and beat them at their game. But I felt like we got a little bit too gimmicky. And that backfired. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't. It definitely didn't work on Monday night, but I felt the game plan was a little bit off. I think we might have underestimated how tough Baltimore is because that's their MO, right? You know, they're pretty much a physical team. They weren't going to make this.
I mean, I think y'all like. I would say y'all mirror images of each other.
Yeah, so it's a bad matchup in that aspect, but I don't think that Kyle Shanahan wanted to get into a slugfest, and I think we should have gotten into a slugfest. I think we should have tried.
Too cute.
We tried to be too cute. I think we should have just made it a defensive game and ran the ball. Still put Brock Purdy in situations that he could have succeeded, but I think we got cute with the game plan and it backfired.
What about what's his name? Not Christian, but Brock Purdy. What do you? Because I guess it's safe to say he's not going to win MVP this year.
So it's safe to say. I think we're in agreement here. He definitely lost the MVP. I still that's my guy, right? So it's 4 interceptions,
right?
But the way that I kind of look at it is,
don't say they was fluky. Please don't say that.
2 of them were. I wouldn't say fluky. Fluky is not the right word.
Okay.
I'll say that some plays bounce the Ravens away. You know what I mean? Like one of those interceptions. I wouldn't say bounce the Ravens away, but they made good plays, good sound plays that were just spectacular football plays. Like a couple of those interceptions. Yeah, with the batted ball and the lineman intercepts it. I mean, it was a bad play with him throwing the ball, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like that's a hell of a play that the defender made. So
I get that. So I felt like they made him uncomfortable, and he didn't look good. He kind of looked how he looked during the 3-game slide. Now I know the Browns game was but the 2 after that, it wasn't MVP worthy. Now and I feel like, because we'll talk about that whole MVP thing later, and how they're going about it and everything, but I don't think one bad game should take you out of the running, right? Now 4 interceptions. That's probably going to hinder your shot.
He has to be out the running. And the reason being is it's too many close candidates to keep him in the running. I still think he's had a spectacular season, but it's tough even as a 49er fan. And I like Brock Purdy. He's my guy. Right. But to argue that he's the MVP after having 4 interceptions, I have to be realistic. Now, I'm gonna stand by my guy. And
you gonna stand by him?
Yeah. I'm gonna stand by him. He's our guy, Brock. You got my vote of confidence. Keep doing what you're doing, but yeah, MVP. I think that ship is sailed. Like that's
and that's okay. It's his second year. He's a second year player. I don't want to hear about the 7th round. He's Mr. Irrelevant, because that to me is irrelevant, because it's like, he got 19 games under his belt. He's fine. But I mean, so we got somebody backstage, right? And I feel like I'm getting bullied right now and picked on. But what?
it was a question that you asked in a group chat, and I wanted to see if you were going to ask it.
What's the question? Oh! Which one are you talking about? Go ahead. You talking about earlier today?
Yeah, earlier today I saw it.
Before we get to that, I'll ask the question. And everybody watching, I need y'all to let me know what y'all think in the comments. But before we even get to that question, I want everybody to know, if you're not watching us on Facebook or watching us on YouTube, we are on Twitter, on my Twitter, Vipers31, and we are on Instagram, all right, on the Off the Record Show Instagram page. So check us out. Now, before I even continue, I'll get to the question. I'll get to the question.
Yeah, because we do have a lot to cover. I know
we do.
doesn't
You know what? We got plenty of time. You know why? Because we on whatever. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. The question I had earlier in our group, I can't believe he even brought this. What would y'all say? What would y'all say if the 49ers were one and done in the playoffs?
You want my honest?
I want your honest opinion. Yes, Scott, this is your show. I want you to answer the question. What would you do? What would you say if the 49ers were one and done in the playoffs?
All right, so first and foremost, before I start this, the probability of that happening is very unlikely. But I will say this, because the probability is unlikely, if it does happen, it'd be one of the biggest epic failures that I've ever seen. We have, I think most people agree on paper, we have the best roster that you could possibly really assemble. And the expectation is Super Bowl.
Expectation of Super Bowl.
Expectation of Super Bowl. Will we win it? Hey, that's neither here or there. But with our roster, we got to do something. And if we were one and done, I would be highly upset and disappointed. I don't think we'll be one and done. I think that this, in my opinion, this is the team that I feel most confident that we've had in a long time. So if any team can get it done, I think it's this team.
All right. So so we got some people here. So we might as well just get to it, right? All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. So I got Jason here. Jason is actually, this is not the first time Jason's been off the record. He was here when we was in Richmond. And oh my gosh. So we'll get to Jason. He's a Dolphins fan, clearly. We got oh my God. So we got our guy Mike here. Yo, what is happening right now, yo? Oh my, I need some help. All right. I need some help.
I know.
I need some help. So you know what? I had a feeling this was gonna happen. So I called some backup. All right.
Oh no.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh man.
Hey,
Oh man.
Yo, so,
all right, so fellas, what up?
What's good?
All right, so I can't get this man got on. Hey, yo, is that Tony Dorsett's helmet?
I think that's Tony Dorsett's father's helmet.
oh man.
All right,
Yo,
so,
is that a size large? With
Whoa,
a
hey,
capital L on that helmet?
Wow.
I'm just wondering.
That's what we doing?
I'm just
Hey,
wondering.
yo.
Hey, it looks like
right,
a
so look,
large helmet.
So you know, I'm fair. And so the last 2 weeks the Cowboys lost, right? And everybody kept on saying that I'm super petty or whatever. And you know, sometimes it's good to laugh at yourself, right? So my intent was, if we lost, because these two guys didn't know until today that I was gonna ask them to show up. So, and I felt like if we lost to the Dolphins, I was gonna invite Jason and Mike on the show. But there's no way in hell that I was gonna let y'all come on here and try and ambush me without some backup. All right. So I got my guy Jamal. Yo, Jamal, that helmet is funny as fuck. Yeah, I'm trying to concentrate, but no. Leave it. You good. But you definitely
my
gonna
chin strap is.
you definitely getting CTE with that helmet on it.
It's not approved by the
Not no more. So hey,
pads.
you know what, Mike, you got the floor first since Buffalo did win. I just want to hear what you got to say. You was in the comments a little bit, and I ignored it a lot. But go ahead, you got the floor. You got a cool 30 seconds, so you better make it memorable.
Well, listen, I appreciate you, Ed, for inviting me on to the show. I want to thank you. I didn't know you was going to have a Dolphins fan on there. I appreciate y'all holding the AFC East down for the next week, and then y'all lose it like you do every year. So I just want to say, hey, appreciate you holding it down. We'll take that from y'all in 2 weeks. Jamal, welcome back, man. Welcome back. I miss you, man. You ain't even congratulate me or nothing, man. No homo, but the Bills took the Cowboys to pound town. That's all I gotta say. We don't let us get in that playoffs. We come.
All right, Jason, you got the floor, man. The floor is yours.
Man, look. I'll address the Bills fans in 2 weeks. Not really gonna talk about them right now. I do want to say my man Jamal got the Little Giants helmet on. Remember with the ice box and the cats did it, the old movie when Hollywood Haywood hands couldn't catch it and stick him on that joint. That's the helmet he got on. That's what it looked like. But it looked like the Cowboys needed something like that in order to, and come to South Beach and try to get a dub. Y'all know that wasn't gonna happen. They called it the Fraud Bowl. That's what they called it. Because my boys, we haven't really won a game against a good team, all year. So I will give y'all that. I get a Cowboys that y'all were a good team. Y'all all are a good team, playoff team. But we had to get that dub up off you. And the next time y'all come down to South Beach trying to run things, then we're gonna have to show y'all the Aventura. We're gonna have to show y'all the 95, the American Airlines Arena.
You know what? I'm sick of this.
Get the seat, get the sights, get the sounds.
All right, man. Your time's up.
No,
time's up.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I want to address. No. And to my Buffalo Bills AFC East brethren, I like y'all's enthusiasm that that y'all gonna take the AFC East, but it's not gonna come to that because we winning. We going to Baltimore this week. We taking that dub in Baltimore just like we did last year, week 3. We're gonna take that dub in Baltimore. AFC East on week 18, it's just gonna be a coordination. We're gonna come to the field about an hour late, like we always do in Miami. We're gonna come there about right before halftime, lubed up, pause. We go drinks in the system and everything, and it's not gonna matter. Josh Allen's gonna try to do whatever he do. It's not really y'all gonna be trying to make the playoffs. We sitting back, home game, possibly for the number 1 seed on week 18, and that's not just how we gonna do it. But to the fraud boys or Cowboys, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Keep y'all head up, man. Y'all did a really good job, man. Y'all, a lot to play for the rest of the season.
Right.
Y'all did a
pretty Jamal, good. You got the floor, yo. Jamal, you got the floor. Anything you got to say?
Yeah. First, respect to both of y'all. Y'all both teams beat Dallas. It's interesting that it's such a feather in your cap. We frauds, but you so excited. Not so much you, Mike, the other guy. You know what I mean? I don't even really want to say his name the way he talking. Y'all took us apart, Mike. Again, 2 weeks in a row, we played teams with more to lose than we had to lose. We didn't necessarily meet the intensity, but we took care of our work early in the season. You know what I mean? The Bills would like to have a playoff position secured, and look, we know who the Dolphins are. We know who the Dolphins are. Good win. Probably the best win the franchise has had in 20 years. Something.
Wow.
I mean, since Jimmy Johnson left.
Right.
So I do got one more person to add bring to the stage, because it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right if Scott had to get a little bit of this petty as well. So my bad. What up, Phil? How you doing?
Hey, how's everyone doing? How was everyone's Christmas? First of all, mine was fantastic.
Y'all put too much into this football shit. Y'all don't care.
Oh,
Hey, Scott, can I finally get a Merry Christmas wish? You told me, and this may be recorded, so I won't say what you said on Battlegrounds last night.
You ain't your Christmas. No, but happy holidays, Phil.
Happy holidays.
Hey, but Ant, I wasn't quite done. I want to say this.
Yeah,
as a Cowboys fan, not so much in the Bills game. I think you can get better in a loss. I think we're better than we were 3 weeks ago. Not aside from Frisco, I feel good about everybody in the NFC East. Be real, I give us now a 40% chance of beating Frisco. And as far as those uncommon opponents in the AFC, if we see either one of y'all again, I like us on a neutral field. I like us on a neutral field.
Absolutely. And so does Vegas.
He must be talking about the Pro Bowl. He must be talking about all y'all players going on the Pro Bowl.
I said if we see y'all, like that wasn't good.
Neutral field, Pro Bowl. Yeah.
Listen, if you don't think y'all gonna make it, then count yourselves out. Don't try to put that ugly on me, Ricky Bobby. You know what I mean? Don't try to put that on. I feel good about my guys.
So we can have some football. Scott, you got anything to add?
And can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
As far as the MVP race, man, I'm getting so disgusted with how the MVPs are covered or candidates. It's almost like they did in the NBA, where talk about it so early that it's not interesting. Like you can't have a hiccup at all unless you Patrick Mahomes. Like, how the man gonna be out of the MVP race with the top team in the NFC? Sure, he had a bad game, but they switching up what it looked like. You know what I mean? And a lot of it is because of how they do Dak. If you just would call it down the middle all the time, you wouldn't have to kick everybody out after one bad game. It's stupid.
Absolutely. So it's hard to win games.
So I'll say this. I heard the disrespect, Jay. You sitting up there looking like Louis Riddick with all of your pretty helmets in the background.
You know what it is?
Look,
you know what it is? Check this out, Phil. Check this out. Check this joint.
Hey, look, I was less worried about the San Francisco game than this game. This game means a lot more to our season and to Mike's season and to your season than the San Francisco game, right? I wanted them to shut up that San Francisco was this unbeatable thing. Notice Scott beat his chest a little bit last week. Talking about that what they were going to do to the Ravens, and their MVP runaway candidate. He looked shell shocked. To Jamal's point, I think it is interesting that they are now trying to pull other candidates back up because they don't want to give it to Lamar. Now it's, what about Josh Allen? It's CMC's race to lose, which I do think him and Tyreek should be 1 and 2. But now they're talking about those guys.
Who should be 1 and 2?
CMC and Tyreek.
Okay.
I think they should be 1 and 2. I think Lamar's a legitimate candidate, and every quarterback's got some hiccups on their.
So what is Lamar Jackson the best at?
Leading his team. Josh Allen has cost his team more victories than anyone in the NFL this year.
And he's given his team more victories. He's 84% of the offense.
Whoa, he has not given his team more victories than anyone.
Wait, hold on.
In the 7th place.
Josh Allen doesn't play defense. So
guys right now.
The narrative of Josh Allen costing his team all these games is false because Josh Allen led in 4 of the 6 games that we lost with a minute left. So if you look at it, our defense, hold on. Look what he did in Philadelphia. If you guys watch the Philadelphia game, Josh Allen balled his ass off, and what happened?
Hold on, Jamal. So
And keep going.
wait.
Russell Wilson
So
with some Hail Mary touchdowns.
hold on. So if Brock Purdy didn't blow that game for them last week, then Josh Allen didn't blow that game. Because when y'all lost to the Jets, he had a Brock Purdy game.
Bro, we was up in that game. So at the end of the game, Brock Purdy was never up. Brock Purdy didn't do anything.
They were up. The refs tripled more, and then they kicked the field goal. They were up 5-0.
They got beat from the beginning of the game, I feel like, to the end of that game. And it was you didn't feel no time in that game that San Francisco had a chance of beating the Ravens. At any time in that game, from the kickoff, I felt that was Baltimore's game. But to Josh Allen, all those games he's lost, they were 3 points or less. So you can't say every single game is on him. We don't give him the credit for the wins that he's got.
Yeah, but Mike, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I know Jamal got something to say, but I mean, whether you lose by 1, 2, you know, it's not the end of the game that's not the only part of the game that matters, right? So if you throw a pick in the second quarter and it leads to 3 points, that's hurting your team. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't throw that pick, then those points don't happen.
Hey, just to cement your point, if that fumble doesn't happen versus the Dolphins, I think it's a completely different game from the 1 yard.
Oh, absolutely.
And that
go ahead, Jamal. What you got?
It's troubling. It's troubling because people like Mike me and Mike have a rivalry that we'll discuss offline. Mike is so full of shit. He was something's wrong with Josh Allen. I think he's sick. They're not telling us about his ribs. It's something wrong in the.
It was his shoulder. He was injured.
And suddenly he's not injured no more because they start winning. The game, you blow us out, and then the next week, I've watched Dak Prescott beat the Tennessee Titans by 2 touchdowns and get told that he didn't play well and they can't win that way. You beat a Chargers team that essentially had quit on football by 1 point, and you really want us to talk about Josh Allen as the MVP? Come on, man. You're better than that, Mike.
You put Dak on the Bills, I can tell you this right now. You put Dak on, if you could change, this would let you know who MVP is. If you could put Brock Purdy on Buffalo, I could tell you our record wouldn't be where it's at. If you put Josh Allen on the 49ers, the 49ers might be undefeated.
No, they might be out of structure so much that the players don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, okay.
Everybody looks at the highlights of Josh Allen and forgets, perhaps if he doesn't leave the pocket immediately. You know what they're doing to Josh Allen? Putting training wheels on him so he can actually play quarterback.
Wow.
Stay your ass in the pocket where the game is won from.
He's got over 40 touchdowns. That ain't training wheels to me.
Okay.
Well,
he does have 40
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. How many passing touchdowns?
Numbers don't lie.
Who leads the league in passing touchdowns?
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't. Who leads the league in passing touchdowns?
I mean, I don't feel like Googling right now.
It's Dak.
Okay, that's good.
And I'm not even trying to.
But who is Dak doing it when it counts? Did Dak do it against the Buffalo Bills defense?
You're right.
It always counts. What do you do against the Bills defense? What do you do against the Bills defense? What does he do? The sign of a great leader and a great quarterback is you can do it on the road. He can't.
So let me ask you a question, Mike. Because I don't want to have this Dak versus Josh conversation today on Off the Record.
Okay.
To be clear, I wasn't making.
First of all, you already know the NFL. Like I told you this earlier, the NFL wants to give the MVP to Josh Allen. If they could pick somebody to give the MVP to, they would pick Josh Allen because I ain't gonna say why, but you know
why.
Right?
I'll say the Great White Hope. You love a big swashbuckling white boy that runs around and runs over people. No disrespect, because we're in a world where they talk about black versus white NFL games, so it's not no racism.
Right. Blowout, by the way.
No racism at all. He's a fun player to watch. He's everybody's guy next door. You like to have a beer with him. So when he messes up, it's
and he
Josh
steps
is
in
just
with-
trying hard. Josh is reckless with the ball.
Hey Jamal, you know what they're doing right now? They're making a supersized Brett Favre. His picks don't matter, but his touchdowns do. Like
Well,
Brett Favre could sling the ball into the other guy's head 15 times a game, but he'll
It's
throw
fun to
one
watch.
great pass, and they was like, "Oh, he's so amazing. He plays like
As
a kid."
Nick Wright would say,
But his throws are. He's making
as
throws that
as Nick Wright
90% of
would
the
say-
quarterbacks in the NFL cannot make. So if you can't
Mike.
tell me that,
Oh, Mike, stop. I'm gonna
Right,
correct you there. This
Go
whole
ahead.
90% of the NFL can't make those throws.
90% of the quarterbacks
no,
in the NFL can't make the
90
throws Josh Allen makes.
90%
All right, so
of the
look.
N-
Yeah.
90% of the quarterbacks in the NFL
so
knows better.
hold on, because I gotta swing us back to the right lane. All right, now we spoke on the MVP, and I think that the MVP, I think we could all agree that right now the MVP is kind of like a poop show, right? I think they're just trying to entertain us by picking
Right.
the flavor of the week, right? Because right now Lamar Jackson is the favorite. If he goes and has a mediocre game and Miami beats Baltimore, Tua is probably going to be the favorite to win MVP, and then it's all going to be, oh, now week 18 is whoever's hot that week. You know, I do agree that if they're gonna just make it a quarterback award, then just say that, and then the offensive player of the year can get offensive player of the year, the defensive player of the year can get the defensive player of the year. Because I think right now, like Jamal said, they talk about it at week 4 and say this is your front runner for MVP, and it's like, yo, the first month of the season doesn't mean anything, honestly.
Yeah, because Jalen Hurts was leading for a while, and then Tyreek Hill, and then it's a lot of players.
So when you look at things like that, it's like it's almost pointless. It's like you're gonna pick whoever had the best game in week 18, and everything else don't even matter.
Yeah, because the records are going to be similar.
The counter to that, though, is who's really having a season that's setting themselves apart to where you could say it's the MVP.
Nobody.
I don't think anybody is either. So, on one end, I agree with Jamal because, they have made it sort of NBA-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other end, I don't think anybody has said, you know what, this is my award.
Right.
So,
Hey, Scott, I do got a slight problem with that because last week before the game, they built this game and they were setting it up that if Brock Purdy had to come out there and throw him for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns and led them to a 33-19 win, they were going to give Brock Purdy the MVP. Brock Purdy comes out there and throws 4 picks, and he threw up a lot of yards, but he threw 4 picks, and they got embarrassed on their home field. And then they benched him. He wasn't hurt. He got benched. So then they said Lamar didn't actually claim it. All before the game, it was if Lamar beats him, he gets it. Now it's the showdown between Tyreek and Lamar. So
Lamar, what the problem is with Lamar? Your eyes are telling you he's the MVP. Because, if you watch it, he's clearly the best player on the field during the game that he plays. But statistically, his numbers don't jump out the way you say this is an MVP caliber season. So I think that's where people have a hard time saying that Lamar is the MVP, despite him leading this team to win. And I think Michael even opened up with that when he asked, what has Lamar done? If you look at his stats, you say, nah, he's not the MVP. But then if you look at the success of the Ravens and everything that he's done to lead that team, you say, you know what? He should be in that conversation. So it's unless somebody – Go ahead.
I agree with you. I feel like if he becomes a 2-time MVP, at that point, they're gunning for him. Why hasn't he won a chip? That's all you're going to hear from that point out. I'm fine with them giving it to someone else.
I think you're going to hear that anyway.
No, but if he's a two-time MVP, he can only do it in the regular season. He can't get it done, yada yada, to the next level, right? He might as well put a star on his helmet. Because that's how they're going to treat him.
I'm glad you acknowledged that.
If he doesn't win the Super Bowl, he's going to be considered a failure from here on out in his career, and he could make multiple AFC Championship games and lose to Mahomes every time, and they would still say that Lamar's career He had a lot of great regular season success. So
Hey,
I'm
Phil,
glad
Phil.
you acknowledge that, and I tell you, non-Cowboys fans on this in the world and on y'all not ready for that. Y'all not built to deal with what it is to have
Hey, yo, preach,
the
man. Hey, yo,
Cowboy
preach,
fan.
man. Hey, yo, let that
perception.
man cook.
They not built to be
Now, go ahead.
scrutinized on
Y'all
every
not even
single
built
throw.
for it. Y'all haven't done nothing
Hey,
in
Mike, I
100
ain't
years.
interrupt you. Settle down,
But I
sit
can
back, and
interrupt you
listen.
because we got beef, Jamal.
Y'all
You know
not
we got
built
beef.
for the scrutiny. You're not built for the scrutiny. As he just said, he might as well put a star on his helmet. You're not built to walk around and be chastised by everybody. You're not built to have to win the Super Bowl every year or you suck. You're not built to have 2 consecutive 12-5 seasons and be told your coach should be fired. None of y'all built for this shit. Being a Cowboys fan is not for the faint of heart. You poop butt motherfuckers. If Josh Allen played for the
my
Dallas
God.
Cowboys and had the
These
season
two niggas-
Hey, hold on, Jamal. I gotta hold him back for a second. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead,
You
Jay.
got done watching Training Day or something? Jamal,
Hold on,
you
Jay,
been watching-
go ahead.
Look, but, that's like so. Like 95 was the last time y'all won the Super Bowl, right? That's what
y'all ain't never won it.
Listen, that's like 30 years of aggression that just came out right there. My man, it's okay.
Dog,
It's okay.
y'all haven't won it in your life.
Help. Nobody made you become a Cowboys fan, my brother.
My
You can
father
always
did.
switch.
My father
It's
did.
just like it's just like Muslims with the pork, my man. Like
Child abuse.
you can make a choice to do something different, right? It's all right. We'll get you some help, right? When y'all finally become a franchise that's worthy of having an MVP, that's worthy of look, and I'm gonna get to my boys in a second. I'll be fair. When y'all get to that point again, ever, then yeah, okay, we had a conversation. Yeah, like okay, yeah, the Cowboys, they putting up records of success, and it's not reasonable to what's going on, what people talking about. Right now, y'all fans hold y'all to a certain standard that y'all have not proven in 30 years. So when you say the scrutiny,
that's a lie,
y'all putting it on yourself.
Well,
The fans are putting it on yourself. What have y'all done?
Doggy, what have y'all done?
Hold on.
And I'm about to get to that. But you don't see Miami Dolphins fan. I'm not running around saying Tua got to be the MVP. We got to find.
I didn't say Dak should be the MVP.
Number one. I'm not saying none of that. I know that this week is probably the most important game that we about to play in Miami Dolphins in the last 35 years, 40 years against the Ravens. And to your point about the MVP conversation, if we go into Baltimore and if the Ravens beat us convincingly, the MVP race is over. Lamar Jackson will be the MVP. We will have no more conversation. It is done. If we pull out that win in Baltimore, which I expect us to do, now you start having to have a conversation about Tyreek, about Tua, Coach of the Year, Mike McDaniel. You got to start having a little.
All right, Jay, can I ask you a serious question?
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's say that you go to the Ravens and they beat y'all by 4. Let's say it's 21-17, and Lamar throws for 160 yards, no touchdowns, and Gus Edwards gets 3 touchdowns. Tua has a mundane game. So see what we're saying is to either back to Mike's point, either it's the quarterback on the team with the best record, or we need to be a little more subjective and look into it. Because you said it's Lamar's if they win.
Yes, absolutely. So to answer your question, you asked the question.
So if they win, Lamar have how many touchdowns Lamar got, Phil? Passes?
19.
That's unprecedented, though.
One thing I would want to see is a comparison. I don't have the answer. What's the comparison to his stats in 2016 when he won the MVP compared to right now? I don't know.
In 2019, I think he threw 34 touchdowns.
He had 34 touchdowns. He had less yards, but more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns, less passing touchdowns. So he's thrown for more yards, higher completion percentage,
right,
but less overall touchdowns.
And he won the MVP there. But to your point, to the question, though, how many times do you have to put up a team that's supposed to be the NFL's, sexy team, which I'll admit right now, with the Hard Knocks, with the win against the Cowboys last week, with everything going on, The Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins are the sexy teams in the NFL right now.
The Detroit
They are.
Lions.
Yes, they are.
Yo,
Go on any forum, any
Sexy.
topic, any conversation. ESPN keeps running about Dan Campbell. about
Detroit
him being
Lions
Red
are a
Flintstone
feel-good
running.
story only. They're a feel-good story.
Hey,
That's
look,
it.
so-
Because they haven't been to the playoff. They're a feel-good story, but they're not a sexy team.
So-
They don't play good. The quarterback play is horrendous for the Lions.
Right
They don't play anybody.
Yo, wait a minute. Hold on. So
Gordon's not playing.
So
Gordon's not having a good year.
right now, there's already enough conversation about the Ravens, about Lamar ain't doing this, he ain't really doing that. The story's already out on Dak because based on Jamal's comments about the Cowboys, the criticism is there from the first time that they lose. So in the NFL circle, it's not the Cowboys. It's not right now. It's not the 49ers because hey, we took a step back. We got our teeth kicked in. It's not the Bills because we got Josh Allen questions. Who is it? Who is the sexy team? There's two sexy teams right now in the NFL. It's the Dolphins and the Lions.
Detroit
Jay,
lost to the
hold
Bears.
on, y'all. Hold on. Everybody stop. Hold on.
So
Hey,
Where's
Jay,
my
hold on
drink?
one second. Jay. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm not letting you get away with that.
that was
I will
wild.
not let you on my platform get away with that. Okay, Miami has a cute offense. Okay, they have a cute offense. All right, they have a cute offense. They have a lot of motions. Tyreek Hill is the best receiver. Is probably. I think we all can agree. He's the best receiver in the league right now, right?
Ooh.
Tyreek Hill is the best receiver.
Who's
in the
better
league
than
right now.
Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill is it's not even close. I'm not even gonna. There's a lot of good receivers in the league. Tyreek Hill is the best. Okay,
Yep.
And I think we can agree there. Like if he's not is top two and he's not two, but to say that the Dolphins and the Lions are the sexy team,
let me explain. Can I get to the
Nah,
where I
so
was going?
hold on.
We riding.
So I say sexy team is the wrong terminology. We'll go back to what Mike said, the feel-good story. People want to see the Dolphins win, and people want to see the Lions win because they're the teams that typically they're not really there, but they've got good teams, and you can kind of root for them. Somebody mentioned it about Dan Campbell. I mean, who doesn't like Dan Campbell? I mean, you do want the Lions to win. Mike McDaniel, I'm on the fence after watching Hard Knock. I don't know if I necessarily like him, but I have to recognize he does have a good team, and I like his coaching style.
Hey Scott, can I ask
Yeah.
you a question, brother? Are we potentially confusing feel good with no one cares if they win because it really doesn't offend anybody because they're fucking irrelevant? Let's call it what it is. No one cares about the Miami Dolphins. This cat, yo, are you kidding me? You got the nerve to talk to me about when the last time the Cowboys won? Y'all haven't won since Dan Shula. I don't even know if
it's Don Shula. It's Don Shula.
Don Shula, by the way.
I
And
don't even know. Listen,
got-
I don't know if the pit bull had even been invented the last time y'all won. I don't know any of these things. I don't know any of these things about life.
Well, the last time, here's the
y'all
thing.
won.
Here's the thing. The last time the Dolphins were in the Super Bowl,
It was 83, 85 or something.
85. Yeah, I was.
No, we're not talking about in it. They didn't win it.
They haven't won it since before any of us was born.
And the last time y'all won the Super Bowl, y'all had a quarterback from the other team.
They won it when this helmet
He was
would have
he
been
was
the
in
best
Vegas
thing
the week before
available.
the game, betting against himself. Last time y'all won the Super Bowl, so I mean, you know, there's things here and there. But what I was saying is, if you take these two teams, Cowboy or the Dolphins this week against the Ravens, we go into Baltimore, we get beat, right? Nails. Oh well, they was frauds to begin with. Whatever. We gonna look for somebody else. Detroit Lions. They go if the Cowboys go beat them this week. The Detroit ain't what we was thinking. You know, Thanksgiving is who they really were when they lost.
Hey Jay, if y'all play Detroit in the
if
Super
those
Bowl,
two teams win, this week, my brother, please, I'm gonna make room for this bandwagon.
Jay,
this
my
gonna
guy,
be on the bandwagon. I mean,
My guy.
I'm just telling you. Listen, you don't gotta believe me.
just let me ask you this.
Just wait until this week.
If Detroit and Miami met in the Super Bowl, it might be the lowest watched Super Bowl in Super Bowl
Absolutely not.
history. Don't nobody give
Absolutely
a
not.
fuck about y'all,
Absolutely
man.
not.
And I hate that
Absolutely
you're
not.
making me swear.
Absolutely not.
I'm
Hey,
reformed.
hold on. Hold on one
Hey,
second. Phil, what you got? What you got,
Hey,
Phil?
hey, wait. So I want to address a couple of points. One, I think the coach of the year should be either Kevin Stefanski or D'Amico Ryans in Houston. What he's doing with that team that was considered to be the worst team in the NFL to be in playoff contention is impressive, right? And if I had a sneak peek at the NFL script, and sorry, NFL script writers, I'm about to blow up your plans. What they'd love to happen is Miami to beat Baltimore. That way they can set up next week's battle between Miami and Buffalo as another showdown between MVP
Well,
candidates.
I think it's no. So I think that would be more if Miami loses.
Are you an NFL script guy?
Yeah,
I think even what he said, I think if you're trying to build a story, because that's going to be, I feel like that's going to get flexed to the Week 18 Sunday night game.
Oh, it will be.
I think it's more of a story. It's more of a story if Miami loses.
Good
Because
point.
if
And they will lose.
Buffalo wins,
What they do.
But wait,
they're
but wait. Why should anybody care based on my man Jamal?
Because Josh Allen's in the game. Hey, where is that game?
It don't
Where is
matter.
that
It's
game
Miami.
that we played?
It's in Miami.
It's in Miami, but it's all good. We still. So
all right,
so
so
here's
look, go ahead, Mike. We got to get to the
so
one
I
of the
just
week.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to bring your Dolphins fan down to earth. So and he knows this. He knows about the Buffalo Bills are their kryptonite, and they haven't won a division. They won't win a division. At the end of the year, the Miami Dolphins does this every year. They blow the games, and we always beat them. And he knows this. He can go on their message board, and everything is the Buffalo Bills own us. Remember,
a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah.
Let's just get this straight. A
We own
Buffalo
you.
Bills fan is
We own
sitting
you.
on here saying that another team blows it in the end.
Yeah.
A Buffalo Bills fan? You mean to tell me a Buffalo Bills fan? We don't even
when
not even gonna talk about
it
the Super
comes to
Bowls and the
Miami.
Yankees. Let's talk about your quarterback's overtime record.
When it comes to Miami,
No. Let's talk about your quarterback's
this is not individual. This is Miami. It's your franchise.
This is Buffalo Bills. You can't
This
say
is-
nothing to nobody about blowing it in the end.
Hey.
Pause, because y'all do it all the time. Y'all are Kim K level. Y'all are y'all boys are something else. When
Now I will say this. I will say this, and we can put a cap on it after this. But I will say this. Throughout our lives, because I think right now the six of us are all around the same age group, and throughout our lives, Buffalo has found the craziest ways to lose games in our life. I mean,
that still means they've been relevant. The Dolphins haven't been relevant in our
Point.
lifetime, man. Nobody
When
want
y'all
to
been
know.
relevant?
Hold on, don't nobody want to hear
Come
no
on.
Dolphins.
You know the
fans
Cowboys are
crying.
relevant every year.
Hold
Come
on.
on, man. Before the season even starts.
the Cowboys are the most relevant team.
Yes.
Yes.
It is inappropriate for a
Please tell me how
Dolphins
many
fan to
NFC
try to
championships
set
y'all
the
been to
relevance
since
and
95?
talk.
Bro, you gotta win your conference first. When's the last time y'all won your conference? When is the last time Miami Dolphins even won a conference
When the last time
championship?
Cowboys won a conference?
But I'm not talking about Miami right now.
95.
No, you saying what you're saying is all of us except for the
Not
Ravens.
all of us.
So Phil gets a pass because they won a Super Bowl.
95
in
is the last
since
time we
can
won the
remember.
conference.
Hey,
Jay.
hey, Jay.
What was you doing in 95? You was picking your nose.
Hey, Jay, I'm
Y'all
gonna let
didn't
you.
win the conference since 85.
So we all. What I'm saying is,
No, we're not all the same.
We all in the same boat except
Hey,
for the
No, we're
Ravens.
not.
Jay, I'm gonna
We're
let you
not.
cook. I'm gonna
Yes,
let you
we
cook,
are.
but
the Bills ain't.
it's
The
two.
Bills ain't won nothing. They ain't
It's-
never been
Yes,
close.
we have. We won the AFC East the last 3-4 years in a
What
row.
that got you? What that get you?
It don't matter. It got us here. What it got y'all?
What that get you?
All right,
It got y'all. Look, it got y'all watching us every year.
Same thing I
guys. Hey guys,
got you. The same thing I got.
God damn it! listen to me. Listen, that's all fine and dandy. We could have that conversation offline. All right, we got other stuff to talk about. All right, now, y'all, yeah, I want y'all to stay, but if you keep on being insubordinate, I'm gonna kick your ass out.
Skip.
No, all jokes aside, because it's two separate things I want to talk about. So Scott Scott wants to skip the winner of the week, and his winner of the week was going to be Jair Alexander. And we don't got to spend a lot of time on this because I do want to get to the Russell Wilson thing, right? So if y'all don't know, Jair Alexander was he wasn't selected to be a captain last week when they played Carolina, and I guess he felt like he's from Carolina, he's from Charlotte, so he walked out there anyway and did the coin toss. They actually won the coin toss, but he almost screwed it up. I don't know if y'all know that. He almost screwed it up and chose to go on defense. Well, hold on 1 second, real quick. Let me explain it to everybody, not just y'all. He almost screwed it up and picked to go on defense instead of deferring. And if you pick to go on defense, you got to kick off both halves. If you don't know, so he was suspended. He was suspended for this upcoming game for a game, and you know, some people look at it as him being held accountable and things like that. We're gonna have a discussion. I felt like Matt LaFleur, right? I felt like Matt LaFleur, he did the right thing. So I mean, the floor is open. I mean, Scotty.
Oh yeah, no, you summed it up. I felt they did the right thing too. I thought it was just terrible that he just what was he thinking? Like just going out there, you could have really cost your team that game, and then now you're not.
I don't know if it would have cost them the game, but
I mean, it could have. I mean, 2 extra possessions for you not really knowing the rules. I mean, you're gonna go out there and then say, "Yeah, we're gonna play defense," and I mean, thank God the ref bailed them out in that situation.
So I will say this, as a person that's been out at a coin toss, a lot of people don't know because this what happens is you play Madden and on Madden it doesn't say defer, right? I honestly, the coaches are supposed to tell you, you know, we're going to defer to the second half. That's what most people do and you kick off, right? Honestly, when we were younger, most teams took the ball first. That was deferring to the second half is more of like a 2000s type thing. Because when I was in high school, we always got the ball first, and then it switched over. But yeah, I mean, I think he was just wrong by just going out there. What's your thoughts?
So, Ant, a few things real quick. Middle school mistake. Lost the high school football game because of that same thing. Mm-hmm. You just said everybody might not know. Guess who knows? The captains, because they get briefed up. Yeah. You're not a captain. Jair Alexander, never heard him talk. Didn't know he was a gump until I just heard him talk.
I've never heard him talk before either.
He's the definition of a dumb jock. The dude was lost. I wouldn't have just suspended him for the week. I might tell him sit it down for the rest of the season. It's a moronic decision. He did, even in the interview, he's saying, so what's all sassy like? So what's wrong? They don't know. I said we want to kick the ball off. Hey, he's insubordinate and he deserves what he got. Bottom line.
Real quick, Jay, before you go, you know, I think so those coaches are around them a lot more than we are, right? They've heard him talk, so they probably was like, this dumb. What's up, what is he doing out there? They didn't even realize that he was out there. Like, he just, I don't know, but go ahead, Jay.
Hey, wait, real quick, you know what they say, just put a corner at safety? That's the reason you can't, because he's an athletic dummy. A safety has to be intelligent. Yo, that nigga, he don't know what's going on other than covering his man.
Yeah. I agree. I agree, man. The dude is a dummy, and you know he deserves everything he got. I will say this though, because we haven't heard. I know it just happened today. We haven't heard a lot from the rest of the teammates. The coach may think he got more of control on the locker room than he actually has.
Well, Jay, they was a team that was down and didn't give up. That gives you an impression that the coach has the locker room still.
I would say because it was in before the game, right? Or overtime.
Yeah, it was a coin toss, yeah.
Coin toss before the game, right? He says, "Oh, he went up there. My boys had my back. I walked up there. I even spoke for them or whatever. The other captains on the team didn't say nothing. Oh, they said, oh, I'm from Charlotte, so yeah, whatever. And they like, all right, we're gonna suspend you for it. All I'll say is just, you know, maybe the coach, maybe he don't have as much control of the locker room as he said if all the other rest of the teammates allowed this to happen.
Well, you know how you get control? Suspend the cat. Tell
I
them this
understand
is
that.
what happens when
I
you wild
understand
out.
that, but you gotta watch out as to see what type of effect that has on the locker room once you do that. I understand them doing it. I understand them, and I think he deserves it because he's a dummy. However, your team has to respond to that, and it'll be good to see this week how they respond to his suspension.
Yeah, so you do bring up an interesting point. We know the Packers defense is some doo-doo, right? You know what I mean? And they need him out there, and they're in the midst of a playoff push. So I thought it was interesting from that standpoint to where they need him back out there. So you are right. But I am also hearing, too, that him and Matt LaFleur don't have a good relationship as well. And this has been kind of brewing for a while, and this was kind of the last straw. So we'll see as the days go what more develops from that story. But I do want to ask all y'all before we get out of here, the Russell Wilson situation. I know it's not a 5-minute conversation. How did you guys feel when you heard that he had been benched?
Business of the NFL. I know they trying to. We did it with Jalen Smith. The reason we cut him is the reason Shaq Leonard got cut. When you have those clauses in your contract that kick in bonuses or escalators based on you, or it doesn't allow you to manipulate the contract far as it's going to guarantee more money if he's not able to pass a physical. They know currently right now he's physically okay. They've been all but eliminated from the playoffs. It's the business to keep him off the field so he can't have a nagging injury, and then that $27 million escalates toward the guarantee. So hate it, but it's the business of it.
I don't think it's a business. I think this is a power play from Sean Payton, because Sean Payton, I feel like he doesn't want to let the inmates run wild. It's the Louisiana in Sean Payton. I don't like Sean Payton. I feel like he's disrespected. He's disrespecting Russell Wilson, and I don't think Russell Wilson is playing that bad for him to be benched for a business decision. When at the end of the day, they're going to have to pay him all this money anyways.
No, they don't.
Look at it like this, Mike. This is their out though. So from me looking at it, okay. So I think somebody brought up that they're all but eliminated from the playoffs. If you know that this isn't your quarterback of the future, why not go ahead and bench him, free up that money, and then kind of move on? So
Mike, it adds like $27 million to the guarantees if he's not able to pass a physical. So it's just a business. It's foul. I think it's foul. His numbers are actually better than Patrick Mahomes.
And it's not their guy. It's not their guy. Like Sean Payton, that's not his guy. He came in early in the season when he was saying all of that stuff at the beginning about like, oh, I'm gonna talk to him how I want to talk to him, and he needs to stop.
I think it's a power play,
camera and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's just he just trying to get rid of it.
It's not his guy. It's a power play for Sean Payton, man. At the end of the day, he's one of those people that want to feel like they in control of everyone, and he's not about making friends, which I get it, but in today's NFL, I think it's going to turn off a lot of free agents. Because if I'm a free agent and I'm looking at the way he's treating Russell Wilson, I am not going to Denver.
Well, they got Walmart. They got Walmart money.
Wait, so let me say one thing, right? From a business, I understand the business of the contract, and I think it may be. Is it 37 or 27, Jamal? But it's
37
a lot of
or 27. A lot of money.
It's a lot of money, right? So I understand it from that aspect of it. But you've also simultaneously crushed his trade value. Like, I think it's a disrespectful power play move, but it won't backfire against him because by all accountable reports, Russell Wilson isn't liked very well in the NFL. So they're probably celebrating this.
Well,
if you had a quarterback that was liked more in the NFL, this could backfire horribly against Payton. But Russell isn't liked either. So
I'll say this. So the report was they asked him a couple of months ago to get rid of the injury clause, and this wouldn't happen, and he said no. And honestly, I don't blame him because I wouldn't do it either.
That was the same that happened to Jalen Smith, though. You remember that,
right? And I think his if I'm not, I believe they said that when you hired Nathaniel Hackett, and you're still paying him. And he's gonna get paid, and he's not here. Why should I have to give up any of my dollars for that? I mean, so I don't like to play. I know the teams have to do what they have to do. I mean, they gave him, the contract was absurd anyway. When
So he got 124 million at signing.
Yeah, different regime, regime though.
Yeah, and so let's be honest, right? People may say he don't deserve it, but last year was a terrible year, and if you want to be honest, you can think of a ton of quarterbacks that have had off years here and there. Russell Wilson hasn't had like a ton of off years, his later Seattle years, I just think there was a disconnect between him and
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. Right. So I think that was, but he wasn't playing like terrible, because clearly if he was playing terrible, Denver wouldn't have gave him that money.
Ant, hold on. Like there's a thing of like knowing where the Russell Wilson is the quintessential grass ain't greener. Because Russell Wilson, if you recall, wanted to be the reason because he said he wanted to build his Hall of Fame legacy. So instead of staying in Seattle where they know you, where they put up with your shit, where they roll out the red carpet for you, he basically forced himself out. Remember, he was putting out lists of teams that he would go to.
I was one of them.
So you do all of that, you do dirt, you get dirt. I personally like Russell Wilson, Richmond native, but he didn't ingratiate himself. Tell you think Phil don't make that face. I'm from Chesterfield.
So let me ask
no, that wasn't about you. I was just gonna say I know he may have technically
you touched on something I want to touch on. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Ooh. That's a good question. I want to hear Jamal's
I'll let Phil get back in there too.
I'll wait. I feel like I've been talking too much. Phil, you answer, then I'll answer because I have my answer.
Yeah.
Get in there, Phil.
I'm gonna ignore that last comment. I think Russ is a Hall of Famer. I think he's gonna have to wait. I don't think he's a must put in guy, but I think he has earned, like, if they put him in, I have no problems with him. To me, if I would put Phillip Rivers in, which I think Phillip Rivers probably is on the borderline, then I'd have to put Russ in. So, but it's one of those things, if he didn't make it, I'm like,
Anybody else? Because I know my answer.
I think for getting Sierra alone, we got to give Russell in.
Yeah.
Well, that's. But I would say yes, an eventual yes, not a first ballot, maybe not even a second ballot, maybe not. He will wait, but I think eventually he would get to the Hall of Fame.
So who's the line waiting to get in at quarterback? Like, who are we? Phillip Rivers, somebody said, like, who's after that? That's like,
Eli.
Borderline.
Eli.
Tony.
I would
Tony.
No.
Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan would be on that same.
Romo will make the Hall of Fame as a commentator over.
Russell would get in before Tony.
So I'm gonna say this.
You gotta give Romo some consideration.
I'm gonna say Russ is a no, and I want him to be the highest of the no's. Because Tony Romo, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, none of them deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Keep the Hall of Fame the Hall of Fame. Where Dion is saying there needs to be an upper room, just keep the standards high. They're not Hall of Famers, man. They're not Hall of Famers.
So while we're here and we talking Hall of Fame,
what about Eli? Because you didn't name Eli.
Eli is 2 Super Bowls.
Eli's a Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Multiple Super Bowls. And
Well, then Joe Flacco should be in. Joe Flacco should be in over Eli.
Russell Wilson won two. I mean,
Russell
Wilson. Hold on. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl and went back to back.
He didn't win the second one. Here's my criteria. He didn't win. You have
to win 2 Super Bowls to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hear me out. You either need to win multiple, or you need to be the best at your position for a sustained amount of time, or in the top 3 at your position for a sustained amount of time. He's neither one of those.
So
what about Phillip Rivers is in? Phillip Rivers is in.
No.
I think Eli's 2 Super Bowls held more value than 2 other Super Bowls. When you beat the quarterback who, like we talked about earlier, the Great White Hope, when you beat the best quarterback to ever pick up a football, according to NFL people, you beat him twice. That
quarterback doesn't play defense. So my thing is this: if you want to be a Hall of Fame, you got to be the best at something. If you've never been an MVP, Russell Wilson's never been an MVP candidate. Has Eli Manning ever won an MVP?
Led the league in interceptions most of his career.
Exactly.
He got 2 though. He got 2, and he got 2 against Bill Belichick, and he went on a very excellent.
Was he the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Who?
I don't know. I don't know. Was Eli Manning ever the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he was
one of them.
Yeah, he was one of them.
And he didn't deserve that
Jamal
one.
just said it. Jamal just said it. He beat Bill Belichick's defenses twice.
Exactly. Not Tom Brady.
Listen,
he beat Bill Belichick's defense in the Super Bowl.
He's the bottom tier of it, but in order for Russell to go in, he'd have to separate himself somehow from Eli, like be like damn near perfect and only have 1. He's got 1.
I think Eli only gets these votes because of who his brother is. I think if he wasn't Peyton Manning's brother, we wouldn't be talking about Eli.
He played for a flagship franchise in one of the biggest TV markets. He got 2 Super Bowls. That he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. Let's just call it what it is. You can say you don't.
But they won 9 games in those Super Bowl years, didn't it? Wasn't it like a 9-win team?
No. You can't have it both ways.
Hold on. Hear me out.
But y'all talking about the MVP got to win, right?
I know. Hear me out. Listen. So we can all agree that Drew Brees is going to be a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We can all agree that Ben Roethlisberger
is essentially Eli Manning with a better playoff record.
Hell no. Ben Roethlisberger is the top 5 passing ever.
It doesn't look.
He has 2 Super Bowls.
That's what I'm saying. But he was. I know he put up a lot of yards, but at that time, and it's unfair to him. But he truthfully was not a top 5 quarterback during that run.
During which
Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer, man. Let's not make it too difficult.
And hear me out. In his second Super Bowl, he led a game-winning drive.
He's a Hall of Famer. Let's keep pushing. What's your next question?
Okay, so my next question is, and so I'm getting back to Phillip Rivers, right? And this is why. And if y'all don't think this is Hall of Fame, then y'all let me know. All right. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, right? He won Comeback Player of the Year in 2013 for whatever that's worth. And he's thrown for 63,440 yards, number 6 all time in passing.
Okay, so no All Pros, no Super Bowls, no Hall of Fame.
I mean, you could say that, but he was playing he was playing during the span of
then go get one. The Hall of Fame is hard to get in, bro. It's gotta stay that way.
I understand what you're saying, but you're saying Russell Wilson, no. And Russell Wilson is, I mean, he's 18 all time, but he has 1 Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl appearances.
And like I said, to me, Russell Wilson is the line. Maybe he could go in, but those other people go below him, and I definitely don't think they go in. Tony Romo should get no Hall of Fame consideration.
And it's all about the optics in the NFL. This is not Major League Baseball Hall of Fame where like you just keep spitting out facts and stats and war and all that stuff, and then somebody eventually gets in. It's all about optics. Charles Haley was one of the best defensive players to ever play NFL football. He didn't get in because the writers didn't, like, he had a bad relationship with the writers. Then Charles Haley is not a Hall of Famer. As soon as
Charles Haley is a Hall of Famer.
Well, what I'm saying, it took him a long time to get in because the writers kept him out. But he was a Hall of Famer from the time he dropped his cleat. So it's all about optics. Like in the NFL, like you have to put out stats, but you also have to have the right optics in order to put you in. I don't think that Phillip Rivers has the right optics to get in. No matter what the stats say, I don't think he has the right optics to get in. I don't think that Matt Ryan or whoever y'all name, whatever.
Nah.
I don't think those guys got the right to get in.
So
Russell
you don't
Wilson,
think Philip Rivers has the options?
no, I don't.
Very good player.
Okay. So he's in the Hall of Very Good, as Skip would say.
Yeah.
All right, so we about to get out of here. But before I leave, I wanna leave y'all with a trivia question, okay? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a football one, but I forgot it. So I'm gonna go with one. Scott, you can't answer this. Phil, you can't answer this, and
Damn.
and Jay, you can't answer because they heard this already, so they know. All right. There are oh, actually, no. Actually, you know what? I changed that. It's a basketball one. I know we talk football this whole time. Jamal, you can't answer this, and Phil, you can't answer this. Everybody else can answer this one. All right, there are 5 sets of twins in the NBA right now. 5 sets of twins. Mike is looking like, yo, what are you doing, dog? There are 5 sets of twins currently playing in the NBA right now, right? Y'all can work together. Jamal and Phil, y'all got to shut the hell up, okay?
So Mike,
I know this. Okay, I know the
All right, so Jay and Mike, huh?
I know the ones from Charlotte. Well, the ones that played at Charlotte. What's the one? Two light skinned cats. The one that played for Miami Heat, right?
Yeah, that's one. That's the Martins.
Martin,
So
yeah,
you
I know
live in
them.
Charlotte, so you should know that. So that's one.
Lopez brothers.
The Lopez brothers, that's 2.
The Collins. Was it Collins? There's like 2
They're not in the
Collins.
NBA no more, man.
Hey, you didn't say currently. Did you say
Yes,
currently?
currently in the NBA right now.
It's some.
The Greek
The Greek
Giannis-
brothers.
Tutos are not twins, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's
Neither are the balls, huh?
I was gonna say it's 2 cats.
Oh, the
from,
balls are twins, bro. The balls are definitely twins.
Not Lonzo and Melo. My bad. All right. Go ahead, Jay, my bad.
So what we got? The Lopez brothers, the Martins.
Martin.
It's two foreign cats, not the Giannis and his brothers. It's 2 other foreign cats that's like this in there.
No, they're not foreign. The last 3 aren't foreign.
Maybe they just brothers.
I give you a hint. One set are rookies.
Yeah.
Dog, they literally just got drafted back to back.
Sheesh.
The
Morris brothers still in the NBA?
You said the Morris twins are. Yep.
That's what I want to say. Not Thomas Morris. Yeah, that's what I was talking. Okay.
Rookies that just got drafted.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they were drafted back to back.
Y'all give me the college.
They didn't go to college. They played overtime in the league.
Oh, they didn't go to college.
Yeah, they didn't go to college. Correct.
Is it like Thompson something? Is it Thompson?
Yeah. There you
go. That's it. The Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson.
Exactly. That's it. Those are cousins.
Those my cousins. I'm waiting.
Those are cousins from around the way. And so it's one last set of twins. Hey, I got $1. I got $1 for you if you got it, huh?
They've been in the league for a while, or
a couple years, few years. You're probably not gonna get this one though.
Was it Mason? Hold on, what's the name?
Wait, who you say?
Murray. Was it Murray twins?
The Murray twins.
Keegan and Kai,
whatever his name is.
Keegan and Chris. Keegan and Chris.
Yeah.
So yeah. I knew it was Murray because I was thinking of.
So, but nah. So again, yo, hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Well, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having us. Hey, Jay, you my new guy. I don't fuck with, but I fuck
with. Hey, Jamal, Jamal, man, it's all good, man. Y'all pick y'all head up. Y'all got a lot of season left. I rock with y'all. You know.
Hey,
with you.
So real quick. This is another reason why I feel like the Cowboys are gonna dog walk the Lions. And I know I probably shouldn't be saying this on the air, but whatever. One, the Lions secured the division already, right? So you're naturally not going to play as hard because you're preparing for the playoffs. And two, man, they inducting Jimmy Johnson into the Ring of Honor. You really think the Cowboys are going to lose when you know how long we've been waiting for this? Listen,
what happens if they lose? If they lose, what happens?
They lose,
We still the 5 seed. We still the 5 seed.
And nothing changes.
But we're not
But
gonna.
they're not losing on Saturday. And here's another thing,
Okay.
Mr. Thompson.
Uh-huh.
The Cowboys only had because you said something about us not being relevant, and I took that.
Nah, we got we be on this.
I took that as just no. We about to leave, but the Cowboys only had 2 1:00 games. Okay, all right, that's it. 2 1:00 games, and Saturday, last Saturday it was multiple games on. This Saturday is only 1 game on. You know who's playing? The motherfucking Cowboys. All right, this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony. What up? Well, go ahead. You got the last word.
No, all I'll say is they put the most historical battles of the world on the History Channel. Some things deserve to have their own spot on the History Channel. Y'all boys definitely deserve y'all spot on the History Channel too. But for those of us that like to stay in the present and in the now, you are what your record says you are. You are what you are last week. You lost last week. You're losers. That's The Bills are winners. The Ravens are winners. The Dolphins are winners. The Cowboys are losers. That's all it is.
Jay,
let's
take that out.
Hey, yo, this is the first time y'all made the playoffs back-to-back since the
It don't matter. Right now, we're winners. Bill, good win last week. Mike, good win last week. I
Appreciate it.
The same for the Cowboys, but you didn't win. I'm just,
Hey, Scott, good effort last week. You guys showed up.
Hey,
It was
number 1
I think
seed.
Scott got off easy this week, but I ain't gonna say.
He did.
Hey, when you're as good as we are, it is what it is.
Go back to a show from a couple months ago.
Hey, next time we get on, we need to talk about that all white against all black game if y'all haven't already talked about that.
We know what Team Scotty playing for.
Ah,
Wow.
wow.
That's
Hey,
really
hey, I see y'all backstage. This Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Hey, Mike, you gonna have to see me next time. You have to see me.
Oh, my. This Off the Record. We out of here, man. We out.
We Off the Record. Anthony Adebayo. We Off the Record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.